Antigone is a Greek tragedy written by Sophocles in the 5th century BCE. The play is part of a trilogy along with Oedipus Rex and Oedipus at the Colonus, and is one of the most famous and enduring works of ancient Greek drama. Antigone explores themes of morality, family loyalty, and consequences of defying the state. The play begins with Antigone, the daughter of the ill-fated Oedipus, discovering that her two brothers, Etosiles and Polynices, have killed each other over the battle over the throne of Thebes. Etosiles, who defended Thebes, has been given a hero's burial, while Polynices, who attacked Thebes, has been declared a traitor and is left unburied and exposed to the elements. Antigone is determined to give her brother a proper burial, as she believes it is her duty to honor the dead and uphold the laws of the god, which require proper burial rites. Despite the etiquette of King Creon, Antigone defies the state and buries Polynices, placing loyalty to her family and the gods above obedience to the king's decree. She is caught in the act by the guards and is brought before Creon for judgment. Creon, who is Antigone's uncle and the ruler of Thebes, is furious and orders her to be punished. Antigone argues that she was following the will of the gods and her actions were justified. However, Creon is unwavering in his decision to punish Antigone, viewing her defiance as a threat to his authority and the stability of the state. Creon's son, Hamion, who is also Antigone's fiancé, pleads with the father to spare Antigone's life, arguing that the people of Thebes are sympathetic to her cause. He tries to reason with his father, urging him to be more flexible and to consider the consequences of his actions. Hamion warns Creon's stubbornness may lead to rebellion and bloodshed, but Creon remains firm. Meanwhile, the blind prophet Tiresias warns Creon that the gods are displeased with his actions, and that he must reverse his decision to punish Antigone. Creon initially dismisses Tiresias' warning, but after persuasion from the chorus, he realizes the gravity of the situation and rushes to free Antigone and bury Polynices. However, he arrives too late, and Antigone has already taken her own life, and Hamion, devastated by her death, kills himself as well. Creon's wife, Eurydice, upon hearing the news of her son's death, also takes her life, leaving Creon utterly devastated and remorseful. The play ends with Creon acknowledging his tragic mistake and accepting responsibility for his actions, realizing that his arrogance and pride has led him to the destruction of the family. So this is me reading off the prompt. So the question that I chose was from AP 2018, question 3, obviously for the novel. And it goes, many works of literature feature characters who have been given a literal or figurative gift. The gift may be an object, or it may be a quality such as uncommon beauty, significant social position, great mental or imaginative facilities, or extraordinary physical powers. Yet this gift is often also a burden or a handicap. Select a character from a novel, epic, or play who has been given a gift that is both an advantage and a problem. Then write a well-developed essay analyzing the complex nature of the gift and how the gift contributes to the meaning of the work as a whole. Sophocles' Antigone is a classic tragedy that depicts the story of a young woman who defies her uncle's decree and buries her brother Polynices. One character who is given a gift that is both an advantage and a problem is Creon, Antigone's uncle that is the king of Thebes. Creon is gifted with the quality of leadership, but this gift also becomes a burden that leads to his downfall. Through Creon's gift, Sophocles emphasizes the theme of danger, of pride, and the importance of balance in leadership. Creon's gift of leadership is apparent from the beginning of the play. He is respected and trusted by his people, and he has a clear vision of what he believes is best for Thebes. However, Creon's gift also becomes a problem when he allows his pride and stubbornness to cloud his judgment. He refuses to listen to the advice of others, including his own son Haemon and the prophet Tiresias, and instead insists on forcing his decree that Polynices should remain unburied. This decision ultimately leads to the death of his own son, his wife, Eurydice, and the realization of his own mistakes. Creon's gift is complex because it highlights the importance of balance in leadership. On one hand, Creon's strong leadership is necessary for the stability and security of Thebes. His decree against Polynices is intended to send a message to potential enemies of Thebes that will not tolerate treason or rebellion. However, Creon's gift becomes a burden when he takes his leadership to an extreme and ignores the advice of those around him. He becomes blind by his own pride and refuses to listen to reason, leading to the tragic consequences that befall the family and his city. Sophocles uses Creon's gift to emphasize the dangers of pride and importance of humility in leadership. Creon's downfall is a result of his own hubris, and the punishment serves as a warning to others who might let their pride cloud their judgment. Moreover, Sophocles emphasizes that leadership is not just about making strong decisions, but also about listening to others and taking their advice into account. In this way, Creon's gift becomes a cautionary tale for leaders who might be tempted to put their own interests ahead of those they lead. In conclusion, Creon's gift of leadership is both an advantage and a problem in Sophocles' Antigone. His strength and vision are necessary for the stability of Thebes, but his pride and stubbornness lead to his downfall. Through Creon's gift, Sophocles emphasizes the dangers of pride and importance of humility in leadership. Creon's tragedy serves as a cautionary tale for leaders who are tempted to put their own interests in front of those they lead. Theogony is an ancient Greek epic poem written by Hesiod, believed to have been composed around 700 BCE. It is a cosmogonic poem that describes the genealogy of the gods and the origin of the universe, providing insights into Greek mythology and the beliefs of time. The poem begins with Hesiod invoking the Muses, daughters of Zeus, for inspiration. He then proceeds to recount the birth of the first deities and the creation of the world. According to Hesiod, in the beginning there was chaos, a formless void, which Gaia, the earth, and Tartarus, the underworld, emerged. Gaia then gave birth to Uranus. Do I say Uranus? Is that something official I'm making here? Uranus, heaven, who becomes her mate. Uranus and Gaia had numerous children, known as the Titans, Cyclops, and Hectoncheires. It's 100-handed ones, that's what it's supposed to be. However, Uranus was a tyrant who imprisoned his children inside Gaia's womb, causing her great pain. Gaia suffered revenge and created a sickle from stone, which she gave her son Kronos. Kronos used the sickle to castrate Uranus, overthrowing him and becoming the ruler of the cosmos. Kronos released his siblings from Gaia's room, but was imprisoned by the Cyclops and Hectoncheires in Tartarus. Kronos married his sister Rhea, and they had several children, including Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Hera, Hestia, and Demeter. However, Kronos feared a prophecy that one of his children would overthrow him, so he swallowed them, all at birth. Rhea, desperate to save her son, Zeus, her younger son, However, Kronos feared the prophecy that one of his children would overthrow him, so he swallowed them all at birth. Rhea, desperate to save her youngest son, Zeus, tricked Kronos by hiding him on the island of Crete and giving Kronos a stone wrapped in swaddled clothes to swallow instead. Zeus grew up on Crete and eventually returned to challenge Kronos. With the help of his siblings and the Cyclops, who gave him thunder and lightning as weapons, Zeus waged war against Kronos and the Titans known as the Titanocemy. After a fierce battle, Zeus and his allies emerged victorious and Kronos was overthrown. Zeus became the king of the gods, and he imprisoned the Titans in Tartarus, freeing the Cyclops and the Hecatostones as rewards for their assistance. The poem then describes the division of the universe amongst the gods, with Zeus ruling from Mount Olympus as the kings of the gods and the god of the sky and thunder. Zeus married his sister Hera, who became the queen of the gods and the goddess of marriage and childbirth. The poem also mentions the births of the deeds of the various gods and goddesses, including Poseidon, the god of the sea, Hades, god of the underworld, Demeter, goddess of agriculture, Athena, goddess of wisdom and warfare, among others. Theogony also explains the origin of mortal humans. According to Hesiod, the first humans were created by Prometheus, a titan, who shaped them out of clay. Zeus then gave them life, and they were bestowed with gifts and talents by various gods and goddesses. However, Prometheus angered by Zeus by stealing fire from the gods and giving it to the humans, leading to dire consequences for both Prometheus and humanity. In summary, Theogony is a poetic account of the origin of the gods of the universe, as well as the creation of humans according to Greek mythology. It portrays the struggles for power and the complex relationships among the gods, providing insights into the beliefs and values of ancient Greek culture. The poem serves as a foundation for Greek mythology, influencing the subsequent literary and artistic works for centuries. Alright, this is the Unit 7 overview connection, which you can find in the script. All of this is pretty much being written or read from the script, makes my life easier. Use an excerpt from Hesiod's poem Theogony. Then, in a well-constructed essay, analyze how the author portrays the complex ideas of family that were used in storytelling of ancient Greece. You may wish to consider such literary elements as style, tone, and the selection of detail. First of all, the deathless gods who dwell on Olympus made a golden race of mortal men who lived in the time of Kronos, when he was reigning in heaven. And they lived like gods without sorrow of heart, remote and free from toil and grief. Miserable age rested not on them, but with the legs and arms never failing, they made merry with feasting beyond the reach of all evils. When they died, it was as though they were overcome with sleep, and they all had good things. For the fruitful earth unforced to bear them fruit abundantly, and without stint. They dwelt in ease and peace upon their lands with many good things, rich in flocks, and they loved by the blessed gods. Hesiod's poem Theogony portrays the complex ideas of family in ancient Greek storytelling by depicting the relationship between gods and their offspring, as well as the creation of mortal men. Hesiod's use of language, tone, and the selection of detail conveys the importance of family ties, lineage in ancient Greek culture. The poem begins with a description of the gods creating a golden race of mortal man during the reign of Kronos. The use of the word golden implies that these mortals were highly valued and cherished by the gods, as gold was a highly prized metal in ancient Greece. The description of the mortals living without sorrow of heart and being remote and free from the toil and grief suggests a sense of idealized perfection and happiness. Hesiod goes on to describe how these mortals lived with legs and arms never failing and made merry with feasting. These details further emphasize the idea of perfection and joy in the idealic world. The mention of fruitful earth being fruit abundantly without scent reinforces the idea that these mortals had everything they could possibly need and want. The final sentence of the excerpt, which reads, "They dwelt in ease and peace upon their lands, with many good things, rich in flocks, and loved by the blessed gods," ties together the themes of family and lineage. The phrase "loved by the blessed gods" suggests a sense of kinship and a familial connection between the gods and mortal men. This reinforces the idea that the family ties were highly valued in ancient Greek culture, even between mortals and immortals. In conclusion, Hesiod's Theogony was a variety of literary elements to portray the complex ideas of family in ancient Greek storytelling. Through his use of language, tone, and a selection of details, Hesiod conveys the importance of family ties and lineage in ancient Greek culture and emphasizes the connections between mortals and immortals. Alright, so this is the summary of the Odyssey. Alright, let me get my tea. Alright. The Odyssey is an epic poem written by ancient Greek poet Homer. It is a tale of an adventure, heroism, and the challenges faced by its protagonist, Odysseus, as he attempts to return home after the Trojan War. The poem is divided into 24 books and follows Odysseus' journey across the seas as he faces various obstacles and encounters mythical creatures while attempting to reunite with his wife Penelope and his son Telemachus in the homeland of Ithaca. The poem begins with Odysseus stranded on the island of Ogygia, where he was trapped for 7 years by the sea nymph Calypso. With the help of the gods, Odysseus is finally released and re-embarks on his journey back to Ithaca. However, his journey is far from easy. Along the way, he faces numerous challenges, including the encounters with Calypso, including encounters with the Cyclops, Polyphemus, the sorceress, Circe, and the deadly monsters Cycla and Cherubids. Throughout his journey, Odysseus displays his cunning and intelligence, using his wits to overcome challenges and outsmart his enemies. He also faces internal struggles, wrestling his own desires and temptations, such as seductive songs of the siren and the allure of the goddess Calypso. Despite these challenges, Odysseus remains determined to return home and reunite his family. Meanwhile, back in Ithaca, Penelope is besieged by suitors who believe Odysseus to be dead and seek her hand in marriage. Penelope, however, remains loyal to her absent husband and stalls the suitors with various tricks, buying time for Odysseus to return. Finally, with the help of the goddess Athena, Odysseus returns to Ithaca, disguised as a beggar. He reveals himself only to his son Telemachus, and together they plan to take revenge on the suitors. Odysseus challenges the suitors to contest involving his famous bow, and with his superior skills, he successfully defeats them all, including Antinous, the ringleader of the suitors. Odysseus is finally reunited with Penelope, and after proving his identity, they joyfully reunited. However, Odysseus' journey is not over. He must deal with the families of the slain suitors who seek revenge, reconcile with the people of Ithaca who have been in turmoil during his absence. With the help of Athena, he restores order and peace to his kingdom. The poem ends with Odysseus reconciling with the remaining family and receiving the blessings of the gods. He has learned valuable lessons throughout his journey, including the importance of perseverance, the consequences of succumbing to the temptations, and the power of loyalty and love. Throughout his trials and tribulations, Odysseus emerges as a hero, embodying the ideals of Greek heroism. The Odyssey is also a profound exploration of the human condition, fulfilled with the filled with themes such as heroism, fate, the power of the gods, and the importance of homecoming. It has influenced countless works of literature, art, and culture throughout history and remains a timeless classic that continues to captivate readers with its rich storytelling and universal themes. Alright, this is the Unit 8 overview connection. Everything, again, can be found on the document, In Homer's epic poem, The Odyssey, published in 7th century BC, Homer writes about the Greek values of hospitality. Read the poem carefully. Then, in a well-written essay, analyze how Homer uses literary elements and techniques to develop the complexity of Greek culture and their values of hospitality. In The Odyssey, Homer employs various literary elements and techniques to develop the complexity of Greek culture and their values of hospitality. Hospitality is a central theme of the epic poem, and throughout it, Homer portrays virtues and flaws of his society. Homer uses characterization, imagery, and symbolism to depict the multifaceted nature of Greek hospitality. A way in which Homer develops the theme of hospitality is through his characterization of the protagonist. Odysseus is portrayed as a guest who is constantly in need of help from others throughout his journey. He encounters various hosts, some of whom are kind and generous, while the other are inhospitable and cruel. For example, the Cyclops Polyphemus represents the epitome of inhospitality, as he not only refuses to offer Odysseus and his men food and shelter, but also tries to kill them. In contrast, the Phaeacians, especially King Alcinous, are extremely hospitable and offer Odysseus everything he needs to return to his homeland. By contrasting these two characters, Homer shows that the hospitality is not just a matter of providing food and shelter, but also involves kindness, generosity, and empathy. Another way Homer in which develops this theme of hospitality is through the use of imagery. The feast is a recurring image in the poem and serves as a symbol of hospitality. The feast that Odysseus is offered by his host are not just a way to satisfy his hunger, but also a way to build relationships and establish trust. The feast is also an occasion for storytelling, which is another important aspect of hospitality in Greek culture. Through storytelling, the host and the guest can learn from each other and gain a deeper understanding of their respective cultures. The imagery of the feast also highlights the importance of community and social bonds in Greek culture, as the feast is often a communal event that brings people together. Finally, Homer uses symbolism to develop the theme of hospitality. The olive tree, for example, is a symbol of peace, and the guest-host relationship is often compared to the branches of an olive tree. This symbol emphasizes the importance of hospitality as a way to build peaceful relationships between individuals and communities. The gift giving is another symbol that is closely associated with hospitality. In the poem, Odysseus often receives gifts. From his host, and he also gives gifts in return. This exchange of gifts serves as a symbol of reciprocity, as the guest is often expected to repay the kindness of the host in some way. In conclusion, Homer's use of characterization, imagery, and symbolism in The Odyssey effectively develops the theme of hospitality and portrays a multifaceted nature of Greek culture. Through the character of Odysseus, the imagery of the feast, and the symbols of the olive tree and gift-giving, Homer shows that the hospitality is not just a matter of providing food and shelter, but also involves kindness, generosity, and reciprocity. The theme of hospitality therefore serves as a lens through which we can better understand the values and traditions of ancient Greek society.